What's going on, family? Yeah, I know it's been a while. It's busy doing some work out in the community, and it trumped my gym work. So here I am. I'm back in. But before I get to my burpees, I want to talk about this idea about not being an alpha male if you travel in a pack. As I seen somebody dropped in our group, Truth Hurts used said you're not an alpha if you travel in a pack. But the reality is, you would have to be in a group in order to prove whether you're an alpha or not. How does a person measure whether they're an alpha if they aren't in a group? Who's the leader? If it's just you can't be a leader. I mean, I guess you could be a leader of yourself, but um, to adopt the title of an alpha and not have people following you, then or being in a group of people where they listen to you or they take your input or you share, how could you quote unquote say that you're an alpha? Now, what he's describing as a person or individual or animal that doesn't travel in a pack is what we call a signal or sigma, right? So if you look at a sigma wolf, especially if we're comparing it to wolves, we tend to use the alpha, the betas, and the sigmas in the setting of wolves. But if you look at how wolves act, there are alphas and then they are in a pack. I do agree that if you are in a group and you act a certain type of way in a group, different than you do, say like more aggressive in a group, that makes you a non-alpha. Because if you're all by yourself and you're not with a pack and you're different or your demeanor, your energies change, or much subdued when you're by yourself, I think that that's a delineator. And I don't think that necessarily being in a group makes you less of an alpha. I also want to say that you know humans by nature are not apex predators. We're not apex predators. The only reason we are is because we had the ability to be able to create weapons and to organize in large groups of numbers. But if you took all this away, you put us back with our Paleolithic ancestors, we were not at the top of the food chain. So to say that traveling in a group is not alpha or is not a thing is actually to go against your humanistic nature. Right? This is also the reason why people are depressed, people are sadder than they ever been, because they're adopting this principle of isolation and being solo. And us as humans don't have that capacity to do life alone. We were never built to do life alone. Are there outliers? Of course. But as a general, majority of us were built to be in groups. I even researched the idea of a super PAC. And even though my original thought about a super PAC was having a pack of alphas in one group, um, the research showed me something a little bit different. That a super PAC can be families who group together in order to survive, and typically super PACs are families. So, for example, um, the business, the 48 Laws of Dating, is essentially two brothers. Um, I came to my brother with an idea because I felt like I couldn't do this business all by myself. So I came to my older brother with the idea to help me co-author the book, collaborate with me to build this business because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it. He, in turn, said, I have another person who can help us market, build the infrastructure, and build this group so that we can kind of take it a little further. And then within our group, we have our brother who participates in the group very heavily. He interacts very heavily when me and my brother and our media manager is not in a group. My other brother, is partaking in that, and that's a super pack because we are a family and we all are playing roles within that this pack to make sure that the idea continues to move forward. So I think the true definition of an alpha is a person who can lead themselves, who can trend in a leadership position, but also who can follow, or who is not afraid to ask for help or to say we can employ this person because we all can be alphas in our own specialized ways. We don't have to be the alpha in everything. And I think that's why society is having such issues right now because if you getting money for something that you're doing that you're specialized in, I should be getting that money, but I don't have the same experience that you have. So I think that idea and that notion of being an alpha all by yourself and then being an alpha and trying to out alpha everybody else. So my brother said that in a group. I think it's a dangerous idea, and we can see the ramifications of everybody trying to be all by themselves, trying to be an alpha, and when they find that they are not an alpha in a group, they isolate themselves, and we're seeing the ramifications of that. Mental health is at an all-time high. Depression is at an all-time high. Loneliness epidemic is at an all-time high because everybody wants to be the, HNIC or the HBIC, right? And nobody's deferring or leading and following each other. So that's my thing for you today, family. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace be upon you. I will talk to you later.